CJ Stroud and this offense have an incredible opportunity in front of them. The Colts might not have a healthy quarterback. We've got to get to the check marks for this matchup. A food review Friday, maybe some cards for you. Lots to get to here on the show. Welcome to the channel. I'm Cody Stoots. Let's talk some Texans. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hope if you've been up and shopping here on Black Friday, you've gotten some great deals, and hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead of you. Lots of NFL and college football headed our way this weekend. Oh, rivalry weekend. There's some goodies on the schedule. And, of course, the Texans and the Colts this weekend. A little caffeine this morning. The rain, I love this, rainbow sherbet. Okay. One of our fantastic listeners got this for me. Really appreciate you. So, oh, it smells nice. Oh, that is nice and light. I thought that was going to be cloyingly sweet. It is not. That's good. Hope you have your caffeine this morning. Let's get into it. The Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday at noon. J.J. Watt, Iron Eagle on the broadcast. A game that CBS protected, thinking it was going to be a super important one. And that, of course, is exactly where the Houston Texans are right now, in a absolutely awesome and important position in the AFC landscape and in the AFC picture for the playoffs. When you think about where the Texans are right now and where you think about what they have in front of them right now, there is a lot ahead. So let's talk about where they are right now. You look at the playoff picture after yesterday, where the Texans got a lot of help in the AFC playoff picture and in the AFC standings. They currently sit at 8, the first team out of the playoffs, but the top team in the AFC with 6 victories. You've got the Buffalo Bills, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Los Angeles Chargers all at 7-4. Well, you play the Los Angeles Chargers before the end of the season. The Jaguars have to go and play the Indianapolis Colts a couple of times. They've got some tough games on their schedule. And if you can just get even with the Buffalo Bills, you obviously own the head-to-head tiebreaker with them. But by virtue of the Baltimore Ravens loss, by virtue of the Kansas City Chiefs loss, you've now got a half-game lead on those teams. Obviously, you play the Kansas City Chiefs next weekend. So I don't want to overlook what Indianapolis is, and we'll talk about how important and how incredible that opportunity is this weekend. But you look at the next 2 games. If you take care of your business against the Indianapolis Colts this Sunday, that gives you an avenue, a path, a way to get into the AFC South conversation. And then you go to Kansas City next weekend. And if you go to Kansas City on Sunday Night Football and bury the Kansas City Chiefs, what an incredible opportunity for the Houston Texans right now. And certainly an incredible opportunity for 2 pieces of this Texans team that you've wanted more from in the 2025 season. I start with a conversation with CJ Stroud, who is set to return to the Texans starting quarterback role this week. A full participant on Thursday's practice for the Houston Texans after practicing on Wednesday. I'm sure he's officially cleared concussion protocol, though the announcement, I believe, will come sometime today. But Stroud going to be back out there, and he has not been an electric quarterback in 2025. He has not been to that franchise quarterback level that most of us hoped he had bounced back to, or would have bounced back to, in 2025. An incredible opportunity awaits him in specifically the next 6 games, the next 6 regular season games, and whatever he and the rest of his teammates can earn beyond those 6 games. But you look specifically at these next 2 games. Coming off of the concussion where he missed 3 games, would have only missed 2 if they hadn't played that Thursday night game, but he misses the 3 games. Davis Mills does some really nice things at the quarterback spot in his absence, turns over a team on a 3-game win streak to CJ Stroud. And now you go to Indianapolis, a team where Stroud has had a lot of success against them. You go to the scene of 2 incredible victories in Stroud's career, the 2023 win or go home, win and win the division game against the Colts in 2023. And the start of the 2024 season, where after an incredible Joe Mixon game, you still needed C.J. Stroud to go out there and you still needed him to make an incredible throw to end the Indianapolis Colts in that game. Stroud's had a lot of success in that place. And now coming back from the concussion, after the team is on a 3-game win streak, and the backup quarterback did some really nice things, Stroud has a great opportunity to go in there, add to his resume on the road in Indianapolis, and really add to and change what 2025 has been for him. It's been a disappointing season for C.J. Stroud. He's not one of the best quarterbacks in football right now. He hasn't statistically played like one of the best quarterbacks in football. It looked like he was playing some very good football before his concussion. Obviously, the game against the San Francisco 49ers was incredible, and then he was okay to start the Denver Broncos game. I mean, that's a tough Denver Broncos defense he's going against, but he was okay to start that Denver Broncos game. The concussion obviously knocked him out of that one, and he hadn't played since, but he'll get back on the field against Indianapolis. And if he looks really good against the Indianapolis Colts, right off the bat, from the jump, has some incredible moments from the quarterback spot, and then could carry that over going on the road in a matchup against Patrick Mahomes, where, again, in Kansas City, he's had some very nice moments. Even last year when the offense was very up and down, they were very close in the regular season game. They were very close in the playoff game, but there's still more to showcase in that Kansas City matchup against a Chiefs team that, frankly, is reeling right now, is lingering on the precipice of failure for their season. And if Stroud can go in there against the Colts this weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs next weekend, a place where he has dominated, a place where you just need a little bit more out of him in 2024, and he goes out there and he can really put the pedal to the metal in these next 2 games, that would go a huge distance for C.J. Stroud in not only calming everyone's fears about is he or isn't he a franchise quarterback, but putting the Texans on a path where they can make something special out of 2025. And in addition to C.J. Stroud, he to me is the main focus in that. But one of the other elements of this team that has been a little disappointing, one of the other elements of this team that could showcase a little bit more, that offense. That offense was not good in the second half against the Buffalo Bills a little over a week ago. That was not good enough from the offense. In fact, they played 3 quarters of pretty bad football on offense. They had 1 really nice quarter of football on offense. You're getting your starting quarterback back. You found an offensive line combination that looks like it might have a little something. You've got Nico Collins and Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. Christian Kirk is even coming off of a solid enough game, catching a touchdown after dropping a touchdown. You've got both your tight ends as healthy as they've been all season long. You've got an opportunity, Nick Caley, to showcase what you can do. You've got an opportunity to go in and really start to turn the perception of this offense from they have some nice moments to this is an offense that you can believe in. This is an offense that you can go out and you can have consistent success with. And this is an offense that is going to pair perfectly with an incredible Houston Texans defense to give you an opportunity to make something special of 2025. So the next 2 games, starting with Sunday's game against the Indianapolis Colts, presents an incredible opportunity, not just for the Texans as a team, but for the quarterback who has not had the season that I'm sure many of us have wanted him to have, and the offensive coordinator, the offense as a whole, who, again, have not had the season here in 2025 that many of us have wanted them to have. So what say you? Get to your comments, your questions, your joys, and your concerns. 2 significant injuries to pay attention to ahead of Sunday's game. And then, of course, we will get to the checkmark game as well. So don't want to miss out on any of that. And I don't want you to miss out on Sleeper. My friends at Sleeper have daily fantasy for you. What you're doing is you're taking a couple of predictions, a couple of stat predictions. You're going more or less. You're putting those predictions together. And if you get all your predictions right, you're going to multiply your entry in the contest. It is so easy to use Sleeper. When you get signed up, use my code STOOTS, STOOTS, STOOTS. You'll get a free $20 no deposit required entry, and you'll get that deposit match up to $100. Let's put a sleeper entry together right now. This matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. You see the free pick there. If you want to use it for this Friday, it'll be a Jalen Hurts more than half a passing yard, but we're going to the passing yards. Less for Daniel Jones, more for C.J. Stroud in his return. Those field goal kickers, the offense for the Texans has struggled a little bit. Kaimi kicks a couple. The Money Badger kicks a couple because the Colts are not going to be moving the football to a large degree. And Nico Collins, part ownership of the Indianapolis Colts the past couple games he's played there. 5 gets us into a situation where we can multiply our money nearly 10 times. So more for Badgley and Fairbairn, the kickers, more for C.J. Stroud, a touchdown for Nico Collins, and less for Daniel Jones. That's our sleeper entry for this week. Happy daily fantasy to all of you. You got hockey, you got basketball, and of course, all the football you could want at Sleeper. Appreciate them for being sponsors of the video. Your comments, your questions, your joys, and your concerns and super chats jump to the front of the line. George, Cowboys did us a huge favor at work this morning, yelling with the Cowboys fans. We win Sunday and next Sunday, and we are in. By the way, me and the wife will be at Spanky's next live show y'all have. George, appreciate that, man. We will have a Spanky's for you 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today, we'll have Spanky's for you. So put it on your calendars. We have a brand new place that we're going to on the north side of town. Next week, the following week, we'll have Spanky's for you. So December 12th is when we're going to have that Spanky's for you. December 12th is when we're going to be back at Spanky's next. So look forward to seeing you out there, George, with your lady. But yeah, the Cowboys taking care of the Chiefs, and the Chiefs did not look good in that game. They looked like they were having a tough one. In that one, Mahomes, God, he still had some incredible, amazing plays, but it is a great opportunity for the Houston Texans these next 2 weeks. BG talking about Daniel Jones not making it out of this game. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Dime notes the other big injury we'll talk about. Coffee lover, hope everyone had a good show and a good Thanksgiving. Certainly, I did. I hope you had the same as well, coffee lover. Kenneth says white gummy bear is good as well. Yeah, I've seen that one from Rain. I may have to try that one out. The rainbow sherbet. It's a good one. Max got a rain right now. It's a sign that's going to be a good day, certainly. Be a great day. Jake, good to see you. Otherworld Ambience, good to see you. I'm ready to finish as the first seed. Wow. Okay, so you're thinking win out, go be the top seed in this thing, maybe get some help, get Denver to drop one so you don't have to worry about that tiebreaker. That'd be nice. Kenneth says, I'm only concerned about these next 2 weeks. After that, I think we'll be fine rolling into the playoffs. I love that. Doyle, good morning, everyone. Driving to work in a whiteout blizzard. Doyle works up north, Montana, right? And, be safe, Doyle. It's a Texas chilly this morning of 50 degrees. Got to imagine it's a little chillier up there. Byron misses Mixon. Sucks that we only got him for a year. Yeah, that one stunk, man. That stinks that Mixon's not going to really – I mean, he's not playing this year. So how was your Thanksgiving, Cody? It was fantastic, Fame. Thank you for asking. Mama Stoots did a great job. The carrot souffle was just perfect. She has what she called soft fried potatoes, where you just chop the potatoes up, not into cubes, but like long strips. And she just kind of really it's not even a shallow fry. It's just the potatoes were perfect. Had plenty of fantastic banana pudding that was great. Man, it was awesome. I hope everybody else had a very impressive Thanksgiving, and I hope you were very thankful for everything that you have. I certainly am. And certainly thankful for everybody watching the show today. Morning, Stoots. Headed to my place in New Braunfels at the moment. It's a big weekend for Texas Tech and the Texans. Wreck 'em and swarm. Yeah, my Red Raiders can solidify their spot in the Big 12 championship with a victory. So it'd be nice to see if they can pull that off. Good to see you, Chewy. Is Colts O-line better than Texans? It certainly is. Certainly is. If we didn't lose to Denver, we could really be in a place for a first-round bye. Yeah, the Denver game lingers. Of course, you lose your starting quarterback in that one. You do get a little bit of an excuse, but Mills didn't look great in that one. Nick Caley didn't do a great job. The offense was tough in that one. Good to see you, Patrick. Appreciate you. Jordan's ready for the belts to asses of the Colts. That acid man. Our fate in our own hands, and that scares me. Yeah, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Like, you'd rather have it be this and take it when it's there in front of you than have to rely on 15 different scenarios to happen for you to have a chance. WBF, how we stopped Allen and somewhat held James Cook later in the game. I'm not worried about Jones or Taylor. Whew. I mean, certainly something to pay attention to with how well they slowed down McCaffrey and Kittle, with how well they slowed down Allen and then James Cook after that initial one. There's something there to that defense. They are excellent. But one key piece is you got to pay attention to it before Sunday. Scott says, happy Friday, everybody. Awesome football weekend to get started. Absolutely. It's going to be cold and wet in Indy. Well, not inside, though. Not inside. They got a nice Lucas Oil Stadium, or if he has his way, Collins Oil Stadium. Nico's had some really nice performances up there. Danny says, good morning, goats. Joe Reeves, good evening from Udon Thani, Thailand. Just a Texans fan, thanks. Joe, hello from Thailand. Udon Thani, Thailand. How about that? I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. I know we've got we have one listener in that part of the world, Abigail, but good to hear from you, Joe, across the globe over there in Thailand. How about that? And Danny asked, what was the caffeine today? Rainbow sherbet from Rain. Our fantastic listeners gifted this to me, and it is delicious. It is delicious. Hayden with the super chat. Appreciate you, Hayden. I know the O-line is getting credit for allowing minimal sacks, but how much were recent teams not doing stunts? Well, how much were recent teams just not good at rushing the passer as well as some of these other teams you're about to face? The Colts rush the passer better than some of the teams you've played recently. The Chiefs have had their moments. You know, they've been very up and down with their ability to rush the passer, probably not as good as they had been in previous years. So I don't want to give the O-line too much credit, but I also don't want to take away from what they have been able to accomplish recently. So what time do they practice today? And will CJ speak? They practice today at 11. Let me rephrase that. When the media is allowed to watch is 11. And will CJ speak? That's the hot rumor on the streets. So CJ Stroud, full participant yesterday in practice. The Texans had a practice, and then I'm assuming had some sort of Thanksgiving. But practice yesterday for the Texans. He was a full participant in practice. The one to watch, though, Will Anderson, not participating in practice, showed up on the injury report with a did not participate due to his chest. Now, could it be precautionary? Could it be something serious? That's a lot of questions. There's a lot to get to. Here's what I would say. Anderson, if he practices today, I would think he's going to be good to go. If he doesn't practice today, huge concern, huge worry that probably the best player on your defense is not available for this matchup. You could really use Will Anderson in this game against the Colts, obviously. But you see there, full participant for C.J. Stroud, full participant for Jalen Petrie. They're on their way back. Blake Fisher, Trent Brown, and Nico Autry, limited participants, and then a DNP for Jamal Hill and a Johnny Carter. So two special teams players, two deep depth pieces not available to you right now. But Will Anderson, something to monitor in the Friday workout. Will 51 be on the field? And if he is he going to be good to go for the game? That's something to pay attention to. That's what myself, Landry Locker from the locker room, be looking for. We head out there to practice a little bit later on this morning. Now, Will Anderson pops up with a chest injury. That's one thing. Got to pay attention to it. Not great. You'd like a little bit more. Daniel Jones popped up with a fibula injury. Watch Daniel Jones go through this drill. Now, Jones was listed as a full participant in practice. But just because you're a full participant doesn't mean that you're not at least banged up or not feeling great. This is from James Boyd of The Athletic yesterday. Look at Daniel Jones. Look at him. He looks like he can barely walk. That looks incredibly painful. Can you imagine going through that drop and having Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson bearing down on you? That would be horrible. Look at this. He looks like he is really dealing with it. And the Colts have been pretty quiet about his injury, but Ian Rappaport reported that it's a broken fibula. So he's got a fracture, break, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one on the internet. But my goodness, look at him trying to gut this out in practice. He's going to have to do this in a game. He's going to have to do this in a game. Whew. Man, this is tough for Daniel Jones. I don't know how that's gonna work. Daniel Jones looks like he is in a ton of pain. It looks like it's going to be incredibly tough for him to do what he needs to do here in this matchup. But hey, them's the breaks. So, okay. We got to get to the check marks. We got a couple of cards I want to get to. Got a food review that I want to get to as well. But I also want to tell you about my Brunt work boots, Brunt workwear. Fantastic stuff for getting the job done. High quality work boots and more. $10 off at Brunt with the code Stoots. STOOTS, STOOTS. You see the boot right there in the picture? You see my boot right here. Look at that little waterproof right there on the boots. And then the cushion technology in the Brunt work boots, man, they make them so comfortable, so easy to wear for long stretches. Let me tell you, Mama Stoots needs me to get in the garage, needs me to get some of these Christmas decorations out for her. Let me throw in the Brunt work boots on there because it's going to be a little bit of work, but I'm going to be nice and comfortable in my Brunt workwear and my Brunt work boots. And I'm going to be able to kick through all the nastiness of the different parts of the garage and be out there in the yard, putting everything together, putting the decorations up. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be nice and comfy in those Brunt work boots. $10 off when you use my code Stoots, STOOTS at checkout. You can check out the link in the description down below. These are incredibly comfortable boots. They have tons of different styles and varieties as well. They've added some black boots to the equation recently. They've got some more casual wear boots. That's the kind that Landry has, where they just kind of slide on. You can wear them in more casual settings. I got those because I know I'm going to do some yard work. I know I'm going to need some comfy, some warm, and some worthwhile work boots. And that's why I've got those from Brunt. You can pick up yours at our link in the description down below. Of course, use that code Stoots, STOOTS. Get $10 off Brunt with code Stoots. Appreciate Brunt for sponsoring the podcast. Couple of comments, questions, joys, and concerns. They also report he wasn't taking all the reps. Yes, so James Boyd from The Athletic reported that Jones wasn't taking all the reps in his drills. Boyd got clarification that apparently the full participation only matters when it comes to team work. You can miss a piece of a drill. I don't know that that's totally the thing. Maybe Boyd didn't see it correctly, but Jones doesn't look healthy. I know it said full participant, but Jones doesn't look healthy. He looks like he is looks like he is having a rough go of things. Appreciate you for the super chat, Logan. A couple of more comments here. Oh, Josh Simmons is out for the year. The Chiefs game just got a lot more winnable. Did that just get announced? Did the Chiefs just lose Simmons? I know he left with a wrist injury in that game. But I hadn't seen that this morning. Let me get a little double check here. I know the Chiefs had 3 offensive linemen get hurt in that game, so it's going to be tough for them. But I did not see that he was gone for the year. But if he is, well, suffers dislocated and fractured wrist, and he is out indefinitely. Wow, okay. That's tough. That's their franchise left tackle. They also had their right tackle get hurt. Their backup tackle is solid, but he can't play both positions. Josh Simmons out as a twisted vindication for Stoots. I take no joy in a guy being hurt. And I was worried about his knee, not his wrist being broken, but tough. Much rather have Ariante Ursary and Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. Will had media availability yesterday. I think he will play. So it's worth noting, no injury designation on Wednesday when Will talked. He talked on Wednesday. Nobody had media yesterday. And then Will did not practice yesterday. So something popped up between Wednesday and Thursday's practice. Now, if he practices Friday, he should be good to go. He should be good to go. Yeah, Daniel Jones doing that with monsters chasing him. Miami sucks in cold weather. It's an indoor stadium. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. I'm not celebrating Josh Simmons getting hurt and missing the rest of the year for the Kansas City Chiefs, even though I said the Texans should stay far away from him and shouldn't draft him because he had character concerns and he had a knee that could explode at any moment. I'm not celebrating that. Okay? Yeah. Joshua says that's what Toradol's for when it comes to Daniel Jones hobbling around the field. Yeah, but that's not going to make him be able to run like he used to. I mean, maybe it's just a pain management thing, but if you're hurting that bad, it lowers your ability to be maneuverable as a quarterback. All right. Cody, you think Daniel Jones starts? I do. Trent Brown coming back from torn patellar injury proves Cody's theory wrong. Cody, take an L. No, I won't take an L. It's not a 1-year situation with torn patella tendon. It's surgery. Also, Trent Brown as a $1.5 million investment versus your first-round pick that's supposed to be your franchise left tackle for the next decade is very different when you want to take that risk. You take the risk with Trent Brown for $1.5 million, you do that. You don't take the risk with a first-round draft pick who also has character concerns, by the way, when that knee injury could be something that lingers much longer down the stretch. So, no, I'm not taking an L on that, Sid Texans fan. Any Black Friday pickups so far? Not yet. I will say I think that like Black Friday's always had great TV prices, but a 55-inch TV for like $170, like a smart TV, 55-inch smart TV for $170 at Best Buy, I think that's a great deal. I don't get any commission off that or anything, but like I think it's their brand of TV, 55 inches, $170. Like that's a great deal. Get you a mount, throw it on TV, or it probably comes with legs. You can throw it on a TV stand or whatever. If you've already got a really nice TV, it's a great secondary TV. She's not watching, but I bought Mama Stoots one for Christmas. So that's going to be her Christmas present. But yeah, I think the TV deals have been crazy. And then what I like to do on Black Friday is if you ever order anything off Amazon, I like to go through my Amazon history. And if there's stuff that I really liked, I like to see if it's now on sale for Black Friday. That's one of my tips, tricks, things like that. Okay, let's get to the check marks. I've made you wait long enough. If you wanted check marks, I've made you wait long enough. This is the Colts offense, the Houston Texans defense. Let's get into it here. This Texans defense has been fan-freaking-tastic. And as you'll notice, the return of Jalen Petrie as he is set to be back. So no more 3 linebackers in the checkmark game. The return of Jalen Petrie is imminent. Let's go with a check mark already for DeMeco Ryans and what he's brought to the table as the defensive mastermind for this team. So a check mark for DeMeco Ryans, the way that he has coached up this defense. I know Matt Burke's been calling the plays. He and DeMeco sort of work together with that. So let's go with a check mark for DeMeco Ryans. We've been waiting for the Kalen Bullock game so that we can give him a check mark. We had it. Okay. Kalen Bullock forcing 3 turnovers. Feels like he's really feeling it right now. So this is a heat check mark, because up to this point, Bullock had not been check mark worthy, but coming off the performance he had, check mark there for him. I put Jalen Reed here just because I feel like coming off of that performance against the Bills, we could see a lot more Jalen Reed at that safety spot. So Jalen Reed is getting the nod here in the checkmark game over, say, Miles Bryant, who would have been the starter here. The corners are playing at an excellent level. They're each getting a check mark here at the corner situation in the corner spot. So Lassiter's a monster right now. He's playing really, really well. Derek Stingley has obviously kind of gotten to the groove here at cornerback after some, a little bit of a roller coaster for him start to the season. So I love what the corners have been able to do here for the Texans. And then we'll go with the check mark for each of the defensive ends. And then the bonus check mark for them. We'll go with Daniil's bonus check mark this time. We gave the bonus check mark to Will. This is not a 2 check mark for Daniil situation. It's a shared check mark between Will and Daniil, but I don't know how to make a half a check mark. So it's a bonus check mark for the combination of the 2 defensive ends. So really 1.5 check marks for both of them. So 3 between the 2 defensive ends. So 3 between the 2 defensive ends, 4 and 5 when you factor in the corners, 6 and 7 when you factor in what Kalen Bullock has been able to do and that DeMeco Ryans defense. 7 for the Houston Texans on the defensive side of the football. Let's go over the Colts on the offensive side. I really like what Shane Steichen has been able to put together for this Colts team. He is checkmark worthy here on the offensive conversation. So Steichen is an excellent play caller. He's had some really nice moments. He's made it through his tenure in Indianapolis with 4 different long-term starting quarterbacks: Anthony Richardson, Gardner Minshew, Joe Flacco, and now Daniel Jones. I really think highly of Steichen. I feel like he's an excellent coach. If DeMeco Ryans wasn't the coach for the Texans, I would hope Shane Steichen would be the coach for the Texans. Let's talk about his actual players. So the offensive line as a whole for the Colts, they haven't looked amazing recently, but they're a good offensive line. So the O-line for the Colts is going to get a check mark overall for what they've been able to do. And then Quentin Nelson he's a really good football player. He's one of the best offensive linemen in football. So he's going to get a check mark as well. So the O-line as a whole for the Colts gets a check mark. And then Quentin Nelson gets a check mark for what he's able to bring to the table as just one of the most dominant offensive linemen in all of football. And I know I make fun of the Colts sometimes as I spill my rainbow sherbet all over myself. I know I make fun of the Colts sometimes for spending $1 gazillion on a guard, but Nelson is a really good football player and deserves to get recognized for it. I'm not giving any of their wide receivers a check mark. I really like Pittman. I feel like he's probably a little underrated. Pierce is obviously an incredible deep threat. Downs is a really good slot player, but I'm not giving any of their wide receivers a check mark. You could make an argument, perhaps as a whole, the wide receivers could put one together, but I'm not giving the wide receivers a check mark. I am giving Tyler Warren, their rookie tight end, a check mark. One of the best tight ends in football this season so far. I think he's 3rd in receiving yards amongst tight ends. Got 3 touchdowns on the year. He just does everything for them. So Tyler Warren, incredible. What an absolute animal he has been. Screw the Bears and screw the Dolphins for not taking him and allowing him to just fall into the lap of the Indianapolis Colts. He's one of the rare exceptions to the Cody Stoots rule of really enjoying a Texans opponent playing football. So I am also very much looking for some Tyler Warren rookie card material as I do some of the card stuff. And then Jonathan Taylor is one of the best football players at the running back position in the end. That is one of the ugliest check marks I've ever made on this little exercise. But Taylor's going to get 2 check marks here. Daniel Jones not getting a check mark. He gets a check mark in the toughness category, but not in the check mark game. So Jonathan Taylor, awesome. As far as just running back and what he brings to the table, one of the best in football. You can make an argument that only McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson were close to him this year, but Taylor is an absolute freak at the running back spot. You have to shut him down. You have to slow him down, and you have to be amazing against the run to stop the Indianapolis Colts and beat them. It's going to be tough with that offensive line. 2 check marks spread across them, 1 for Nelson, 1 for the O-line as a whole. Tyler Warren makes it 3. Steichen makes it 4, and 2 for Jonathan Taylor makes it 6 for the Colts on offense. They've had one of the best offenses in football this year, so no surprise that they check in with 6 check marks over on the offensive side of the football. 7 for the Texans defense, 6 for the Indianapolis Colts right now. Let's see what the offense and defense switched on these bring us when the checkmark game continues here in just a moment, right after I tell you about my friends at TDECU. Man, the Texans debit card getting you 15% off, Texans gear online, and all the other benefits and perks of TDECU, your credit union. Okay, your credit union. Credit unions can do things that regular places where you put your money can't do. They've got tons of different checking account options. They've got savings account options for you. If you've got a business account, they love to have your business account at TDECU. And they'd love to have you come in to one of the 15 greater Houston area locations, get signed up in person. You can do it in less than 20 minutes. It took me less than 20 minutes to walk in, get signed up. I didn't do any of the paperwork or anything like that ahead of time. I just walked in, said, I'd like a TDECU account, please. 20 minutes later, I had a brand spanking new Houston Texans debit card right in my wallet, walked out of there, and I'd probably been out of there faster if I hadn't sat and visited so much with the fantastic people at TDECU. That's another thing. When I went in there, everyone said hello to me. Everyone answered questions. They were offering me water, and we got that account opened up quick. Got the checking and savings going. Membership's required at TDECU. Their credit union membership's required. They're insured by the NCUA, but they have tons of different perks and advantages for you when you put your money with TDECU. So check them out. And you just have to be a resident in the state of Texas. If you're not in Houston, you can get started right there online. TDECU.org/Texans. TDECU.org/Texans. All right, some of your comments, your questions, your joys, your concerns. Then we'll go Chiefs defense and Texans offense from a checkmark standpoint. Another blood in the water game with Indiana Jones playing hurt. Yeah, you also don't want to, run into one of those cage dog situations or corner dog situations. But it's a rough spot for Daniel Jones to be injured. Was Alpha Aaron hanging out at the podium yesterday just in case? If they had availability yesterday, I'm sure Alpha Aaron would have been there. Where is the fibula? In your leg, but I don't where exactly in the leg, I don't know. Kenneth, Daniel going to be a gazelle trapped with lions in a cage. Yeah. It's going to be tough. So Patrick here, fibula is the little bone in your lower leg. Tibia is the shin. Okay. All right. Do we ever get an explanation on why he missed so many games with personal issues? You talk about Josh Simmons. No, there was never any super clear explanation to why Simmons missed so much time with the personal issues. I think it was just kind of categorically covered as just a family issue. But yeah, he did miss some time. Being hobbled like that, more than just physical, he'll be thinking about it with all his footwork, and he should be diagnosing the defense. Hey, it's good. That's a good point, Peachy Keen. It's a good point. You gotta get through the mental barrier of the pain, and then you got to go out there and go make plays. And then you got to worry about, is it going to be able to hurt your dropbacks or your escapability? Be interesting. Jingle says, who do you got, Horns or the Aggies? I mean, how can I be picking the Horns right now? They've played terrible sometimes this year. And Texas A&M feels like they're put together. I just don't know that I trust this. I don't feel like I trust either quarterback in this spot. So Texas A&M's defense has been pretty good. So Rich Boy with a question. Is watching games to the press box enjoyable? I feel like it'd be hard to see. Do you bring binoculars? I do enjoy watching the press box for a variety of reasons. One, typically I'm with some other football minds that I enjoy talking football with. So Adam Wexler can pick his brain on some things that he sees or I see. Same with Landry. He sits right next to me. Texans Cap, he's in there. So some really good stuff from just who's up in the press box that I watch the game with. But so the glass sort of magnifies the field a little bit. I don't know if that's actually something that happens, but it feels like the glass that's in the press box, you see like a little bit more of the field. I do bring binoculars so I can watch the sidelines and then I can watch the play. The cool thing about it is I see the play happen live from up top, so I get to see all 22 players, and then I get a TV right in front of me, so I get like an almost built-in replay of the play live. So I watch it live, and then I get to see it live right there on the TV. So it is really nice. I got my laptop. I'm taking notes and things like that. So I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it. And yes, I do bring binoculars. And actually, I bought so my binoculars that I use are just like a little cheap pair. One of the sides fell off, but I only ever used one eye anyway. So I just bought I look like a pirate in the press box. I bought a single nocular. I guess they're not a binocular anymore. I bought a single one for, I think it was a penny on like Amazon Haul or something, or $1. So we'll see if that's any good when it gets here. If they have the NRG waters up there, no question, Landry and Cody don't mind the press box. That's funny. That's funny. The Sauce trade has a chance to be detrimental for the Colts. Yeah, look, if Daniel Jones turns out to not be the quarterback, those first-round picks would have been an avenue to go and get a quarterback, but they're not going to have them anymore. That's going to be the Jets making those selections. I wish we had Warren. It would be nice to not have to worry about tight end after Schultz. Yeah, they've got some work to do at the tight end position after Dalton Schultz, and it's a lot of work to do. But you got Schultz for right now. We'll talk about him in a second. Thrillbin Spoke says we're going to get Sadiq. That's Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end from Oregon. And boy, wouldn't that be nice? He's a freak. I love what he does at Oregon. He's one of my favorite tight ends coming into this year. And he's had some really nice moments for the Ducks. So I would love that. Why does Shane get slack for drafting Richardson and not being able to develop him? Well, I mean, I think that they have indeed been very critical of Steichen for that. But his ability to maneuver around that should also be commended. But yeah, they swung and missed on that. They blew a 4th overall pick on that. They could have spent that on something else. But yeah, they blew it on a quarterback. Free water from TDCU for Stoots and Landry. Case closed. Yeah, I mean, we love a little free water action. We love a little free water. So, okay, let's get to the Texans offense, the Colts defense in the checkmark game. Then I have a food review for you, and maybe we'll rip some packs, some cod packs. All right, let's go to the Texans defense, or Texans offense versus the Colts defense here. Not a super impressive defensive group, but not a bad defensive group. They've had more than enough on more than a few occasions here to take care of business for the Colts in these matchups. So looking right away, Lou Anarumo is a really good defensive mind and has had some success here with the Indianapolis Colts. So we're going to give Anarumo a check mark here in this one. And what he has been able to do with this Colts team after leaving the Cincinnati Bengals, he has been a really good snag for the Indianapolis Colts, and what he has been able to do with this defense and helping them get into a better situation and a better spot. So we're going to go with a check mark for Lou Anarumo. Their safeties, nothing to write home about. Not bad, but certainly not good either. Zaire Franklin previously has been a really, really good player. I kind of want to give him a check mark on resume and reputation. Yeah, I'll go ahead and give him a check mark here. I'll go ahead and give Zaire Franklin a check mark. I thought he played. I thought he's had some really nice moments, but I'll go with the reputation and resume check mark there with Franklin. Obviously, Sauce Gardner's getting a check mark. He's very good at what he does. So we're at 3 check marks here, carrying over from 6 for the Colts. Okay, the Texans had 7 carrying over from defense. So we're at 3 already. Grover Stewart has stepped up big time in the absence of DeForest Buckner. Stewart was a menace in the Chiefs game that the Colts recently played. I'm going to give him a check mark for just like kind of like a heat check mark right now. And also giving Latu a check mark. He's actually come on huge in the past like 4 weeks or so. He's been able to put together most of his sacks in the past 4 or 5 weeks. He had the interception last week. He's not super good. Like he's not like just like a take over the type of game type of guy. But Latu is a really nice player, worthy of a check mark here. So a handful of check marks for the Indianapolis Colts. Lou Anarumo plus his defenders gets them 5. So 5 check marks on defense plus 6 on offense for the Colts has them checking in at 11 check marks in this one. I am fascinated to see how Sauce Gardner is used in this one. Does he follow Nico Collins? Does he just try to take away half the field? Travarius Ward is a very nice player as well. He's had some injuries that have slowed his season, but he's a nice player. So a couple of nice check marks there for the Colts over on defense. Stewart, that's a heat check mark, and Latu, also kind of a heat check mark, and Franklin, a resume reputation check mark there. Let's go over to the offense here for the Houston Texans. Well, we know Nico Collins is getting a check. That's just what Nico Collins does. He goes in there and he takes care of the Indianapolis Colts, and I know that coming off of the game against the Bills, he only had 3 catches. But he's really good against the Colts. Against the Jaguars and the Titans. And he's just been so damn good against the Colts. I don't know how I couldn't give him a check mark. I'm giving Jaden Higgins a check mark right now. The consistency that the rookies put together, score a few touchdowns, big first down catches. He's getting a heat check mark here from me. Jaden Higgins is. So a heat check mark from me on the offensive side of the football from Jaden Higgins. So I'm pretty interested to see what Higgins can bring to the table. I got to finish writing my 11 here. I'm pretty interested to see what Higgins can bring to the table with Stroud back in the fold. CJ Stroud coming off the injury, not getting the check mark. I kind of want to give one to Woody Marks. Just because, he had some moments where the offensive line didn't help him out, and he just kind of, powered through the situation against the Bills. I'm just having a hard time going check mark with Woody Marks in a game that has Jonathan Taylor. I'm having a hard time giving a check mark to Schultz in a game that has Tyler Warren too. I'll say this, though. I may sound like a dumbass when I do this here, but this offensive line that they ran out there on the field last week, that didn't circle the way that I wanted it to. This offensive line that they ran out there on the field last week had a really nice performance. One of the better performances of all the offensive lines in football last week. Maybe the first time this season, if I can remember. I think maybe I gave the O-line a check mark earlier in the year because they played a worse offensive line. But in this version of the check mark game, I haven't given them a check mark yet. We're getting a collective check mark for the offensive line of the Houston Texans coming off that performance that they had last week. A heat check mark. And I might feel like a dummy for doing it, but a heat check mark for the offensive line coming off the no sacks performance last week, one of their best performances of the year. A heat check offensive line check mark for this one. So Collins, the O-line, and Higgins, 7 on defense, 3 on offense, and the Texans check in with 10 check marks to the Colts 11 in the checkmark game. I could probably take away the Franklin and Stewart if I, wasn't being so generous here. It's Thanksgiving. It's time of giving. I'm giving out too many check marks, perhaps. But a heat check mark for the offensive line, which is one of the more controversial check marks that I have doled out here on the check mark game. So there you go with that one. That's the check mark game. 11 for the Colts, 10 for the Texans. Kaimi indoors check mark? No. No. All right, couple of comments, questions, joys, and concerns right after I tell you about Texans turf. Hey, man, you talk about increasing the value of your home, giving yourself some time back on the weekends. Get rid of your grass for Texans turf, and you won't have to be spending Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings getting the yard right and then getting to go watch football. You just watch all the pregame shows, watch football all day long. Get some of the other stuff done so that you can kick back and watch football, and your neighbors will be jealous. Your home will be more valuable. Dan, the man at Texans Turf, can do it all, from putting greens to play areas. No job is too big or too small for a Texans Turf. Get it in there, and you don't have to worry about tracking in mud or all the various things that pop up with issues with the yard. Oh, this part's brown, this part's green, this part's growing too fast, this part's growing slow. What do I do to maintain it? It's all very easy with Texans Turf. Just get rid of your grass, put turf down. It's always green, always clean. You can see the wonderful portfolio at TexansTurf.com for Dan the man. So check them out, TexansTurf.com, TexansTurf.com. Schedule that free estimate with Texans Turf right there on the website. So don't miss out on Texans Turf. A monocular. Yeah, it's not a binocular, it's a monocular. I guess that's officially the term, right? Right? Brevin Jordan comeback season part 2. I don't know about that. I think they might try to get something a little bit more steady than a Brevin Jordan comeback for the tight end. Cody, Thanksgiving food review. I'm not reviewing my Thanksgiving food, but I am reviewing something Thanksgiving food. We'll get to that here in just a moment. EJ Speed revenge game. I don't hate that. I trust CJ get the ball out fast. He's going to need to. They've got some success. They have had some success, the Colts defense, in getting to some passers. So, get the ball out on time. Grip it and rip it was kind of the thing that I hope CJ learned from Davis Mills. So I am pretty intrigued to see what CJ does in his return. This year's linebackers, quietly a good unit. They've had some really good moments, certainly. Thrillbin spoke. If a crystal ball told us CJ Allen, the linebacker from Georgia, would be Fred Warner, an All-Pro, would we be good with taking him in the first round? I mean, yeah, if I knew he was going to be an All-Pro at linebacker, I'd take him, sure. BG says, I hear Daniel Jones may have a broken fibula. If that's true, maybe they need to take advantage. I mean, don't do anything, nasty. Don't go after it. But, yeah, you got to maximize your opportunities here if Jones is hobbled. Throwman spoke. Haley hasn't lost his job just yet. He's been trying to change things. And if we end the year strong, he's staying. Absolutely. If they have a strong year, to a strong finish, he's going to stick around. But, hey, making the playoffs doesn't guarantee you your job. Just ask Bobby Slowik. Can't believe they're running Daniel Jones out there with a fractured bone. I mean, it's better than running Riley Leonard out there, isn't it? Woody deserves a check mark, Cody. Come on, man. That rookie's been a dog. Yeah, I couldn't get there for this matchup. Not when Jonathan Taylor's the opposing running back. I couldn't get there. He's close, though. He's close. Ricardo, good to see you, man. Took Chubb for more than 16 yards. Hopefully he respects my money. That's funny. That's funny. Hopefully he does. Jerry says, what if we lose? Yeah, if the Texans lose to the Colts, then the chances of making the division race, or the chances of being in the division race, are damn near zero. You'd have to get some incredible luck, and you'd probably have to win out to even have a thought of the division. But yeah, you've got to beat the Indianapolis Colts this weekend to keep the avenue to make the playoffs as a divisional race. So if you want a chance of the division, you have to beat the Colts on Sunday. You have to beat the Colts on Sunday. Okay, couple of things here. Let's get to the food review. So I did a little Thanksgiving-ish food review here for you. Okay, Thanksgiving-ish. So Arby's currently has a sandwich called the Gobbler. I believe they still have the Gobbler out there at Arby's. It's a fried turkey sandwich. They put some stuffing on there. If you didn't have traditional Thanksgiving and you want Thanksgiving, you could probably give this a shot. If you were just craving some cranberry sauce, you give this a shot. But it's Food Review Friday, so here's a food review for you from my friends over at Arby's. All right. Turkey sandwich at Arby's. The Gobbler, I think, is how we call this. They're promoting the deep fried turkey. I think the sandwich I'm looking for is the Gobbler. The Gobbler is back. I never knew it existed before this, but let's give it a shot here. No, I will not. Can I get the Gobbler, just the sandwich, please?
All right. Anything else for you?
You guys have Coke Zero?
Yes, sir.
Can I get a large Coke Zero too, please?
A large Coke Zero?
Yes. That'll do it. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's see what the Gobbler has to offer. Cool, this thing is gnarly. Look at the size of this thing. How about that? What do we got? What did I spend on this? $11.50 for a large drink and a fried turkey Gobbler. $7.89. It's a little over $8 worth of sandwich here. Oh, it smells incredible. Let's see if you can get it up in here. I'm making a mess. You can see the cranberry sauce already on it. Let's get a lot of cranberry. A lot of cranberry. There's the stuffing. Not a tremendous amount of turkey. It looks like probably a couple slices. It's a big sandwich. I don't know if I'm going to eat all of it, but the Gobbler. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Okay, that cranberry's a little overwhelming. There's a good smear of mayo here on the bottom. Okay, initial thoughts here. You don't get a ton of turkey flavor. It's a turkey sandwich, but you don't get a ton of that smoked or it's fried turkey. You don't get a lot of that fried turkey flavor, unfortunately. That cranberry is very overwhelming. That is the first thing you get. It's heavily put on that top piece of bread. Cheese is good. The stuffing, it's good stuffing. You would not expect a fast food joint to have good stuffing, but it's good stuffing. This is for me absolutely a one-off sandwich. I'm not ever getting this again. It's worth a try. I would split it with somebody, be like, hey, you want a little snack? Yeah, I'm a little hungry. I'm not that hungry. Hey, let's split a Gobbler. Okay? I'd split it with somebody. I'd go half a sandwich to you, half a sandwich to the person you're splitting it with. Let's give it a score here. Again, this is a one-off. This is try it once, split it with somebody. Probably don't ever get it again. Nobody's favorite sandwich is the Gobbler. Scale's 1 to 11. 11 would be the best thing ever. 1, wouldn't try it again. I think I'm probably going with like a 5.4 on this. I didn't love this. It's a one-off
one time only. Eat half the sandwich, give half the sandwich to somebody else. If you love cranberry sauce, though, you're going to love this sandwich. You may want to get it. But this is, a regular turkey sandwich from your favorite turkey place. It's much better than this sandwich. So, novelty, sure. Try it again. Really enjoy it. Love it. Not the case for me.
You miss me with the gobbler is basically what we got to here. Miss me with the gobbler. So it was very fine. It's worth a one try because you want to try a snack with somebody. But miss me with the gobbler. So let's see here. Josh asked, can we get a check mark for Jalen Noel coming off the bench when he should be starting? I got a hunch with CJ Stroud coming back, we could see a little bit more from Jalen Noel. We could see a little bit more. I got a hunch. Rich Boy J, Cody, why didn't you pull up to Arby's in the Maybach? The only Maybach anything I know about is Maybach music. And I don't even really know that much about that. So that's all I know about Maybach anything. Rich Boy also say Ravens losing was also beneficial for the Texans, certainly. And a little live update look at the standings here, if you missed it earlier. This is where the Texans sit in the AFC right now. Chiefs and Ravens behind you have the tiebreaker over the Ravens in a head-to-head matchup, can get it next week with the Chiefs. And then you need the Bills, Jaguars, and Chargers. You need a little help there. Obviously, the Texans play the Chargers and could supplant them. The way that the Steelers and the Ravens are playing right now, getting that 5 seed as a wild card team seems like it would be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. Obviously, if you beat the Colts, you have an avenue to the AFC South, and you would probably end up ahead of Pittsburgh and Baltimore. So being a 3 seed is certainly a possibility there for the Houston Texans should they get into the conversation for the AFC South. So plenty to pay attention to here in the AFC in the coming weeks. Still 6 weeks. Still a lot of stuff to get to here in the AFC. Hey, Trent Brown, do you want to split a gobbler? No. I'm not asking Trent Brown if he wants to split a gobbler. Looks like they were stingy with that turkey. They did not put a tremendous amount. I thought it would be, you think about Arby's, you think about loaded sandwiches. That was not a loaded sandwich. That was not a loaded sandwich. Rich Boy, has Captain Kirk redeemed himself? No, he has not. No, he has not. I'd still rather see Jalen Noel on the field instead of him. Still rather see Jalen Noel. Okay. I have recently gotten into football cards. So I think at one time we randomly ripped open a pack here on the show. Just somebody's like, hey, rip a pack, Cody. And I actually had some laying around. I've got some packs laying around, and I've got some stuff. We're going to do some card giveaway stuff here in December. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. I don't know if it's just, hey, random giveaways, or hey, I rip it and send it to you, regardless of whatever the card is or whatever. But I just like opening football cards and talking about the guys. But this is kind of the start, just to kind of put it on your radar. We're going to do some card stuff here. In the coming weeks. We may even have a new friend here on the show doing some card stuff with us. But just be on the lookout for that. But I got a 10 card rookies and stars pack here. So I don't know what we're looking for here in the rookies and stars pack. I think it's last year's rookies. So let's crack this pack open and see what we got here. And wow, look at this. Oh, what a start here. What a start here on the cards. Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns. That's nobody wants that. If you want the Deshaun Watson Cleveland Browns card, let me know. I'll send it to you. I'll mail it to you. Aaron Jones, Minnesota Vikings. A Kirk Cousins. Atlanta Falcons. Hey, look at that. Jacksonville Jaguars Christian Kirk. Maybe that's a sign that Captain Kirk's going to take care of business this weekend. Maybe that's a sign. Kenneth Walker. Look at this. Artistry in Motion, DJ Moore. That's a cool looking card. That's a really cool looking card. Like that. Hey, look at that. A rookie rush, Michael Penix Jr. Weird that we're getting Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr. in the same pack. That's pretty weird. That's a nice card, though. I like those, that rookie rush card. Jace McClellan, rookie card. I don't know anything about Jace McClellan. Hey, look at that. A little Drake May rookie card. Drake May rookie card. And we finish with a Chop Robinson rookie card. Has not quite been as good for the Dolphins as we thought. Not quite been as good as for the Dolphins as we thought. So the Christian Kirk, probably the most notable good sign for the weekend card. Christian Kirk Jaguars is a good sign for the weekend card. That's fun. And then funny that we got the Deshaun Watson there. What would it take to pull a Graham Mertz rookie card? It's so funny you say this because I have been watching people open the packs that have this year's rookies, and so many people open packs and they have freaking Graham Mertz in there. And I'm just like, that's going to be my nightmare. I'm going to get the rookie card I get is going to be a Graham Mertz. Rich Boy says, say you keep opening packs till we get a Texans uniformed player. I don't think I have that many packs on hand. I'll tell you what, though. Let's open another one. I got another Rookies and Stars here. So let's open another one. And I will I'm not going to look and see what that back card is in case it's something cool. I'll just put the Deshaun back there as a hey, how about this as a starter? Dak Prescott helping out the Texans big time yesterday. So good stuff from Dak Prescott. Oh, a Giants Daniel Jones. So seeing the Christian Kirk and the Daniel Jones, maybe we get a little good luck here. Gus Edwards, no longer on the Ravens, is a free agent. Titans Hopkins. That's ugly. There you go. There's your Houston Texan. There's your CJ Stroud in the old Texans uniform. Old uniform for 2 years ago. There's a CJ Stroud. So, I mean, we've gotten lots of good omens here for this weekend. Oh, Hopkins thrillers. That's nobody wants that. Ooh, Rookies and Stars, Malik Neighbors. Look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. That's a great looking card. I love these Rookies and Stars packs. Bo Nix draft class rookie card. Okay. A Braden Fisk rookie card. And a Will Shipley rookie card to wrap it up. So, based on the cards, we're going to treat these like tarot cards. Based on the cards that we have seen here in the packs so far. Let's see. Let's read that. This is, I love this. Let's read the cards here. So we got a Christian Kirk. That leads me to believe maybe some good Christian Kirk karma is on the way. We got a Giants Daniel Jones, which leads me to believe maybe some Giants Daniel Jones is on the way. Okay? Maybe some Giants Daniel Jones is on the way. And then we got 2023 CJ Stroud. 2023 CJ Stroud. Maybe some 2023 CJ Stroud's on the way. So the Cards have spoken. And we're going to get some throwback Christian Kirk playing well like when he was on the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're going to get Daniel Jones playing like when he was on the Giants. And we're going to get C.J. Stroud playing like his 2023 self. The Cards have spoken, ladies and gentlemen. The Cards have spoken. So we're going to do some card giveaways in the future. I'll explain how that all works here in the coming weeks. SNL this afternoon, 4 o'clock. Don't miss out on that. We'll have the full update. We'll hear from the quarterback that speaks at the podium today, which likely will be C.J. Stroud. We'll get the official announcement that Stroud is back today at some point, I would believe as well. And we'll also announce where our live broadcast is next Friday. So we have a live broadcast next Friday, a new spot. We'll be announcing that on SNL this afternoon. So don't miss out on that. Pretty excited to get up to the part of town that we're headed to. So that will be headed your way on SNL this afternoon. So we'll see you there. You're reading them like tarot cards now? Exactly. That's exactly what we're doing, Black Soul. The Cards have spoken. A Christian Kirk Jaguars performance, a Daniel Jones Giants performance, and a 2023 C.J. Stroud performance is on the way. Okay? It's on the way. So I love that. I love that. We'll do some fun giveaway stuff with cards here in December. So I'm very excited about that. That was kind of just a little primer to get everybody excited about the cards. So love that. Couple of housekeeping things. SNL this afternoon. Check out the locker room tonight. Lots of football headed our way. So I love Ole Miss today, by the way, in case anybody's want to make it a little bit more interesting. I love Ole Miss. And I really, again, I hope you I dropped something important. Sorry, let me grab it real quick. I hope that you heard it earlier this week, but if you didn't, Thanksgiving is time to be thankful. I am very thankful for everybody that watches, shares, likes, comments, subscribes, is a member to the channel, sends super chats, buys a hat. I'm so thankful. And, just is talking with Mama Stoots yesterday about what I do and how I do it and everything we're thankful for. And I'm very thankful for the SNL audience, the Houston football audience. And it means a lot. It means a lot. So I appreciate it greatly. Thank you, everybody. And SNL today at 4. So that's how we end the live stream the same way each and every time. It's my hope for you. It's my charge for you as well. I want you to eat good. I want you to sleep good. I want you to be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you at SNL or on SNL at 4 o'clock today. So don't miss out on that. Have a fantastic weekend. Go get you some deals this weekend. Go get you some deals. All right, I'm done.